So I have to come up here real quick and just kind of tell you guys that CM Punk is not cool. He's not anymore whatsoever. But that's okay. He doesn't have to be. He is pushing 40. He is a veteran in the entertainment business, not just professional wrestling. He is an entertainer that pretends to be an activist. And it was a shtick that I fell for, a lot of other fans fell for, and it worked out pretty well for him. He made a lot of money. He did gangbuster numbers, huge numbers, huge ratings that impressed people, big names like Warner Brothers. So, does he have to be cool? Does he have to be punk rock? I would argue not. I would argue CM Punk was not supposed to last as long as he did. Because as we saw, people who used the CM Punk model often switched. You saw Jon Moxley adopting the CM Punk model, and now is a company guy for AEW. Gung Ho company guy too. You see MJF using the CM Punk model, and now he's their top champion. He's AEW's top champion. He's their top draw. Without him, there is no Dynamite. There is no Collision. But you see, they don't stay these punk rock rebels. They don't stay these slick talking do-gooders. They have to sell out. They have to sell out. And it sucks. It sucks when your hero sells out. I remember when The Rock was coming back to wrestling. He was going to do action movies. He was going to be Mr. Schwarzenegger 2.0 again. He was going to be and then he does Moana. And I had to sit there like, okay, that's cool. Because I have to remind myself, yeah, he already did that. He already had his Schwarzenegger face. So who am I to tell him? Who are we to tell him what he can and cannot do when he's already done it? Who are we to tell Phil Brooks what he can and cannot do? Because he's already done it. I was angry when he returned. And the reason why I was upset that he returned in the first place is because for 9 years he has been exposing worker mistreatment, he's exposing bad business practices, he was exposing corruption, medical malpractice, stuff that one of these things would tear down any other business. But no, you had all of this compounded into one organization. And the front man of that, Vince McMahon. Now, I understand that Vince McMahon is out of the picture now. I understand that we have had improvements on the wellness policy and time off for wrestlers and other staff. That's great. That is wonderful. But is that everything that was wrong? Excuse me. Was that everything that was wrong with the WWE? Was that the whole picture? Or is there still a corporate structure that you have to play that doesn't require any skill? That doesn't require any sort of climbing the ranks? Something that Punk had alluded to, something that Moxley had alluded to, something that MJF has alluded to. Has that changed in World Wrestling Entertainment? Or are we just wiping our hands clean and saying that this is just how wrestling works? Keep in mind, the reason also that this bothered me was because this was supposed to spearhead a wrestlers' union. A wrestlers' union. Something unheard of since the days of Jesse Ventura. And even before him. You had CM Punk spearheading this idea of a wrestlers' union. And that's done now. You can't do it in WWE because they don't want that. That's going to make them less money. And you can't do that in AEW because you're not there. And my idea was that the whole wrestlers union concept was going to make it so that a Daniel Garcia can be on the same level as an MJF, or a Matt Menard can be spoken in the same breath as a Chris Jericho without having to put him in the same group. But we don't get that. We don't get that. Instead, we get the same thing that we have been getting for 50, 60, 70 years straight. And if Phil Brooks is okay with that, if Dwayne Johnson is okay with that, if Jesse Ventura is okay, like if any of these people are okay with that, who are we to speak ill of the mighty? But I would implore you guys to watch that John Oliver piece on World Wrestling Entertainment. And keep in mind, CM Punk was a huge part of that. And then go watch his return. And then watch his return promo. And tell me you don't feel dirty. Tell me you don't feel sick. Tell me you don't feel wrong about it. But, again, he's not cool. And he never had to be. Those are my thoughts.